Okay, welcome to our silent disco. It is dark unless you're on the stage, kind of cold and weird looking out onto a sea of people with headphones, but otherwise we're still gonna have a lot of fun. My name is Ilya Bukshteyn. Super pleased to be able to be here with you. I'm a corporate vice president in the Teams product group, responsible for Teams phone, calling, devices, including Teams rooms, and premium experiences like events, town hall, immersive, all the great stuff that we've had the privilege of working on top of Teams over this last decade really now. And what I want to do in this session is walk through what we've been hearing from all of you in terms of your needs as you look to take communications and collaboration and marry it with, of course, no surprise, the incredible wave of innovation coming with AI. To start, I wanted to talk a little bit about how we got here. And it's really amazing to think about the building blocks that we get to stand on. The shift to the cloud, I won't even go further back. I've been at Microsoft 31 years, so I could start about a year before Windows 95. But if we just start from the cloud, we would not have had a cloud were it not for computing becoming ubiquitous at the edge and then in the data center. We would not have had the cloud were not all of those devices connected with the internet. I would argue we would not have had the explosion of the cloud were it not for trends like e-commerce. So the cloud built on those building blocks and of course delivered effectively computing as a service. Instead of having to stand up computing as you need it, you just tap into the cloud resources, which was great because it came just in time, of course, for remote work. We would not have been able to keep working, I would argue, through the pandemic, were it not for the cloud. I know customers I've spoken with who had various on-prem servers, and they couldn't scale in time. They couldn't bring up the capacity. Heck, in some cases, they couldn't go in to manage those servers. So, remote work built on top of the cloud, but also generated an immense amount of knowledge. Suddenly, communications, collaborations, documents, all of our work for 2 years moved onto the cloud where it could be reasoned on and learned from. And I would argue this significantly accelerated the rise of AI. These models could now be trained not just on the internet, but on your information, your meetings, your chats, everything you do that makes you productive. So these shifts, these tectonic shifts in technology, I think of as more waves that build on each other, bringing more capability, higher productivity, but also more and more change at a faster and faster pace. However, what we hear from you as our customers, both as end users and as technology providers for your organizations, has actually stayed remarkably consistent from, I would argue, my first day at Microsoft. Even then, I remember having conversations about how customers could secure, back then it was their PCs running Windows. Little flashback, it was Windows for Workgroups 3.11. I still remember the box. It had a Greyhound with a rocket strapped to its back. Now, security's a little bit more complicated, but the needs haven't changed. You need to make sure that everything you deploy and everything you use is secure, is reliable, is technology you and your users can trust and rely on. At the same time, you are asking us as your vendor to make sure the technology is usable. Again, I can think back to the shift from command line to graphical user interface, from basic GUI to the web. At each point, the technology actually more naturally became complicated. There were more choices, more information to consume. But it was up to us as an industry to simplify those experiences so they could be consumed by more people with more ease. I would argue this is more important than ever. We have more capability and more information surrounding us. We have to make it natural, simple, fast, and easy for people to use all the capabilities they have around them. And while we're doing that, you are asking us to make sure your investments will bring you all of the new capabilities of the AI wave. So these three pillars, simple, secure, smart, these are the durable areas that we continue to invest in for Microsoft Teams as your platform for AI-powered collaboration and communications. These are the areas we work on every day. These continue to be the areas that we will continue to push on. And through the rest of the session, it will be my pleasure to walk you through the latest developments in each of these areas. But before I do that, I really don't want to go further without first, again, thanking all of you. In my time at Teams, it has gone from literally no users to over 320-some million monthly active users. And that is thanks to all of you. All of you as end users who use Teams and give us valuable feedback, and all of you that make Teams available to your organizations, and again, provide us with that gift of feedback. So I want to start the session by both thanking you and bringing up a customer who's had an amazing journey to Teams to tell you a little bit more about that. So please welcome my friend Kerry from our marketing team and Justin Hamilton from Ford.
Thanks, Ilya. Well, thanks for joining us up here, Justin. I want to start off by just asking if you can tell the crowd a little bit about what factors did you determine to make you choose and go over to Teams?
Thanks. We really looked at our collaboration platform, and we had 3 different tools. It was fragmented. We had developers on one tool. We had some business customers on yet another tool, and we had our web conferencing on a 3rd tool. We knew we needed a unified platform, and we really looked for something that could grow with us. Something, back to Ilya's slide, right? Secure, simple, right? Something that we can grow upon. And that's when we started really looking at the available solutions and selected Microsoft Teams.
Wonderful. And you've told me a little bit about the adoption, but maybe tell me some of the challenges you might have faced.
Sure. When we really looked at our platforms and the adoption, we had quite a few customers that really looked to us on the integration, the capabilities, extending the platform beyond your enterprise, out to your suppliers, out to our dealers, Ford Motor Company dealers, right? We really looked at a platform that would allow us to extend beyond our internal enterprise, allowing us to collaborate with them in a very secure manner. We also really looked at the integration opportunities. Microsoft Teams has a wonderful set of third-party integrations out of the box. You can extend it. We took advantage of those to really drive the improved use of the tools, because at the end of the day, what allowed us to really combine into a single tool was those integrations into those third parties.
And what have the results been, even if they're early, thus far?
So results have been great, right? We've seen customer satisfaction significantly improve across our three, really going down to a single tool, the integration, right? We now have a single tool we have to engineer. Before we had 3 tools. Think about that, right, from a company perspective. Now we can really focus our engineering resources and our money spent on a single tool in really driving more productivity out of that tool with improved integrations and experiences.
Which is fantastic. You've also told me a lot, and I think everybody is familiar with the strong culture that Ford has. And so when you thought about that in your broader company vision, how would you say that adopting teams has helped support that broader company vision?
We really now, when we want to innovate on our next greatest product, or we want to innovate on our next set of software, we really look to teams to do that, right? We start up a chat, right? Or we create meetings, right? And really now, when we get together as a team, whether it's virtually or whether it's hybrid or whether it's in person, almost the first thing we do is we leverage teams to do that, right? And so it's a tool, it's become a tool that we use consistently across the company for almost every interaction that we have within our company and also with our supply base or with our dealers.
Sure, and by moving to a single tool, how has sort of the IT admin experience been? What's that been like?
When we look at, again, moving from 3 tools to a single tool, now we have a single tool that we can engineer around. We can make sure that our training focuses on the core capabilities of that tool and making sure that the folks are getting the greatest value out of that tool, understanding how to use it, et cetera. We have now really reduced our number of support tickets coming into the team because, again, we've got a single tool, right? And we're able to really focus on quality education, quality training, quality lessons learned, et cetera.
And you've told me a little bit about this, but what's next on your roadmap? What other areas of teams are you looking to explore?
So right now, we migrated 170,000 users in a matter of 3 months from our solutions into Microsoft Teams. In order to do that, we really had to leverage our existing hardware. We are now going through and implementing Microsoft Teams Room in our collaboration rooms, in our conference rooms. And as part of that, we're really focused on ensuring we're getting the most out of Microsoft Teams with Microsoft Teams Room. That'd be the first thing. And then the second thing is telephony, right? We're really ensuring that we integrate our telephony systems into the teams. So again, we drive that consistent experience into a single channel, into Teams. No matter if you're getting a chat, no matter if you're getting a call, we want that to happen all through Teams.
Wonderful. Kind of rounding it out, and you weren't going to get off the stage without talking a little bit about Copilot too.
Of course.
So tell me how you see the combination of Copilot and Teams really enhancing the way that your team drives innovation across Ford.
Excellent. I'm excited about AI and the use of AI to drive productivity improvements, to help us manage whatever it is, whether it's meetings, right? And think about, right, if we're the ones really facilitating that meeting, what it'd be great if we had some help, right? And we can concentrate on really engaging in that meeting rather than driving the meeting, right? So having a facilitator, a virtual facilitator to help you facilitate that meeting can really help us engage more in that meeting to drive more innovative discussions, to be part of that discussion rather than spending maybe 20% of your time facilitating the meeting, taking key takeaways, right, summarizing the meeting. That's, I think, AI can start really helping us while we get into really navigating those meetings and facilitating the meetings. Also, the intelligent recap, love that feature, right? Yeah. A lot of great feedback from our users on that. So I really do see AI in those capabilities improving. And then I mentioned the integration, the important part of having the third-party integrators. The whole integration with AI agents and being able to extend this Teams platform and leveraging AI agents is going to provide a whole new set of opportunities, I believe, to drive improved productivity day in and day out.
Wonderful. Well, Justin, first of all, thank you for your time during such a busy conference, but also, thank you for your investment in Microsoft.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Ilya, back to you.
Yeah, really couldn't be more grateful to the team at Ford for the amazing work and the speed with which they migrated two teams. It's just an incredible journey. Now, coming back to the areas I described that we're investing in, security is where we start always. We do that because we understand that the threat landscape only gets more and more challenging. AI is just the latest tool set being used to create threats, and this is now being used by state actors, organizations with effectively unlimited resources. At the same time, we also see that when these bad actors are successful, in most cases, this is caused by IT failure or human error. In other words, things we can help with. So we're focused on making sure Teams isn't just the most reliable platform, but it's one that is inherently built to help your users be more aware of threats. One of the things I talked about a few months ago is how we can help protect your users in the flow of the communications and collaboration tasks that they do every day. So I am super happy to now say URL and file protection is rolling out to general availability. And that means any link included in a chat, in a channel, is automatically protected against phishing or malware attacks. Another feature that I'm incredibly excited about is sensitive content detection in meetings. If someone pops up a screen share and we see content that could be dangerous, like a social security number, a credit card number, we will automatically prompt to stop sharing, making sure the user is aware of their actions and aware of what remote folks are seeing. Another very common vector for attacks that we see over and over again is domain impersonation. Seems like someone is coming in from 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃, but actually they're a bad actor that's just impersonating Ilya's company. So I'm super happy to say that now in public preview, we have domain impersonation detection before a user actually engages in that chat. So as you can see on the screen, again, we're trying to help users make better informed decisions and be better aware of where these attacks might be coming from. The commitment I can make to you is that security, quality, and reliability will continue to be the single largest investment that we make in Teams for the foreseeable future, even as we work towards the AI future. And that's why, as I now shift into talking about simplicity, I want to start not necessarily by talking about the amazing things that we're doing to give your workforce more time, to help with interruptions, basically help make everyone productive. But I want to start at the basics, which is that we know you want Teams to be as close to instant as possible. People use Teams with so much intensity. We're aware that every millisecond we take to switch chats or channels is a millisecond that your users could be using to be more productive. So we are continuing to push on the frontiers here. And I can say that with our latest architecture investments, whether it's loading video or launching the application, especially on Mac, or on the app that I use in every meeting, on iOS, on my iPad, switching and loading chats and channels. All of those are significantly faster, and we will continue to invest to make them faster. Now, based on this fundamental foundation, we do actually have some pretty amazing features to make the experience of using Teams simpler and, frankly, more delightful. I hope you'll agree with that. So, to show you that, let's get Kerry back up.
Great. Thanks, Ilya. So I want to demonstrate a few things that are very simple for your collaboration and your productivity as a team. So let's say I'm a product marketing manager that is launching a new product. The best thing I can do is start in a channel. So the channel really becomes the single place for my team and I to work across everything that we have to do for the product launch. A couple of things that I want to show you in this channel. First, you'll see the 𝗦𝗲𝘀𝗀𝗶ecie launch agent. So my channel is named 𝗦𝗲𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗶cie_296, and an agent now comes with every new channel. It's a virtual teammate that keeps you on task, answers your questions. I'll show you a little bit more, but it's a great addition to the channel. Now let's also talk about threading within the channel. So you'll see as you look down here that we now have threads. So I could click in and see additional replies. It's a great way to simplify communication so that I can, in a quick look down my channel, see the main point of each topic. Then, for those threads that I want to go deeper into, I could jump in, I could reply. It just helps make my communication more streamlined. The other great exciting thing, I think, is we now have the ability to do multiple emojis on a single chat. So for instance, a final checklist, that's amazing. I'm so excited about that. Oh, but should I confirm if my area is going well? Well, it is. So I'm going to choose a quick fire emoji. It's going great. Everything is incredible.
I gotta say, I love this feature. I don't know about you, but I rarely feel only one emotion at a time. Maybe with my son when he makes me a little angry, it's all anger, but look, at work, why couldn't we be both happy and excited, maybe a little bit scared? I love this. I love having that ability to have a more complete expression.
I agree, and it's a simple visual cue. I know in my team we've been using it extensively. So let's jump into another common area of collaboration, and that would be a page in your channel. So because we're launching a new product, we're also doing a lot of customer conversations. This becomes an easy way for us to capture all of those customer questions, and I'm actually going to add another one. It's a way that all of us as a team can look across and add, answer, use this as a way to continue to make our launch really successful. So I mentioned the channel agent earlier. I'm going to close out of my thread. And I'm actually I just put a question in, and I actually would rather have the channel agent answer that. I don't necessarily want to look for the answer to it. I know I've seen it somewhere, but now I'm just easily going to say, hey, channel agent, I'm compiling this Q&A. Do you know the answer to this? And it reasons across the files that are in this channel. It reasons across any meetings I've added it to. It reasons across chat conversations. And you'll see, if I go into the reply, it's reasoning over all of that right now. And pretty soon, it'll dig through everything to then get me the answer quickly and efficiently.
We reserve most of our GPUs for you, not for our demos. So.
As you can tell. But just in case, we actually did this reply earlier. And the great news is it brings it up. It's a quick, easy answer to the question that I just asked. So finally, within the channel, the next thing that I want to show you are workflows. So workflows actually now work with your agent. So let's say I want to get recurring, I'm going to create a recurring report. So this is something that will go across my channel and everyone will get to see it. So I see it's in the right channel. I want to add my agent, and there's a prompt here, but I actually want a different prompt. So I quickly put in a new prompt. Because we've been getting all of this customer feedback, I'd love to see it on a weekly basis. And I want to make sure my team sees it too. So I can actually choose the day of the week that I get that, and it'll bring it into the channel every week on Monday, as I've chosen. Now, since we're past Monday, I'll actually show you another example of this, where it generated some feedback, and I was able to quickly see what feedback the customers had for me. Now, this is great. This is all making our internal collaboration more seamless, but what about external collaboration? So for this particular project, I've actually just started working with a new designer. And so this new designer that I'm working with, I'm actually going to pull up one thing. And so this is a new designer, which in the past might have been kind of difficult, right? Because it could have been that I wasn't able to easily and seamlessly work with this designer. But now it's great because all I have to do, it's an external participant who actually doesn't use Teams. I can just put Charlotte in using her email address, and I can quickly type a message. Was great seeing you today. And not just that, I can actually share a document so that Charlotte can get up to speed on this project. Now I want to show you what Charlotte sees. So this is her inbox where she sees, oh, Kerry just reached out to me. I guess I'll reply in Teams. So it's as simple as her replying in Teams. She accepts the terms, and she can quickly jump in and reply back to me. It's that easy now to communicate with someone externally. But what about when you've got a group of vendors? So I've got a group of vendors who I work with regularly. Again, all external participants. But I want to collaborate with them on this launch. I can easily share a loop so that all of us can jump in and say, here's what's going on, here's our status. But more than that, I can also share files easily with them. Now, sometimes when you're collaborating with external participants, maybe you notice somebody, I don't know Grady. And honestly, it's kind of a strange message that Grady left. So I'm going to quickly just click on the ellipses, jump into report this message. It's as simple as that. This will go right to my IT admin. My report was sent. And just to keep it very secure, I'm actually going to remove Grady from the group chat. So just like that, we've made external collaboration as simple and equally secure.
Thank you, Kerry. Hopefully, many of you in these demos see some of the feedback you've given us for how we can make chats and channels simpler, better for external collaboration, and of course, AI powered. Now, another area that many of you have told us about that needs improvement, and I've experienced it myself, is the ability to work in teams across multiple organizations with multiple accounts. Many of the partners I work with have said, hey, we can have a account for you in our tenant. We did previously make switching accounts a lot faster, but it's still switching. So I'm super excited that in public preview, we now have our new multi-tenant, multi-account feed. So as a user, I can now see all of my activity across multiple tenants, all directly without having to switch. And I can even pin specific tenants to the left rail for quick access, never miss an activity item again. This reduces that switching cost, and again, common theme, increases that daily productivity. Now, one of the things you'll notice, we start off talking about enhancements for all of us as users. Doesn't mean that we're forgetting your role as IT admins. We're going to continue to make admin control in the Teams Admin Center and in Pro Management Portal simpler, faster, and more AI enabled. So here you see in public preview, we've significantly simplified the admin controls for external collaboration. You can choose from presets, you can select a preset that aligns with your security posture, and overall this significantly simplifies setup and helps ensure you apply security policies consistently. All your external collaboration settings are now centralized in one place for quick access, and this is just a small piece of the work we're doing to simplify TAC, make it more productive for you. I do want to switch a little bit though. We've been talking about chats and channels. As our friend at Ford mentioned earlier, there's some other workloads that are pretty important to our Teams users, and one of those is Teams Phone. Thanks to all of you, Teams Phone has grown to tens of millions of users, and many of you have asked to use Teams Phone in that other major workload, which is your contact centers. So a while ago, I had the pleasure of announcing extensibility for Teams Phone, where Teams Phone can be built right into contact center experiences, such as Dynamics 365. And now I'm proud to say this is generally available, so you can use Teams Phone as the backbone for contact center experiences, both from Microsoft and from our very valued partners across the contact center industry. But we also know that there are many users who provide customer service but don't live in a contact center. Users who may be at an IT help desk, travel desk, bank branch. For those users, we launched the Queues app so that you can have a queue experience right in your Teams application. We heard from many of you that the Queues app is extremely valuable if you're a queue supervisor, but that there was more that we needed to do to make this valuable for members in a queue. So now in public preview, we have a set of enhancements coming, including shared call history. So a rep can have one view of all queue calls, missed, incoming, outgoing, and can easily figure out the follow-ups they need to take. So here you can see I'm looking at a new unified call history. I can also look at each item's issue tracking status. I have that complete view as a member of a queue. As I said, this is coming to public preview. In January, we're going to be adding even more capabilities here. So the main message I want to leave you with is the Queues app is now the home for supervisors for service queues, as well as for every member in that queue. We also know, switching tracks again, that many of your organizations want to move or have already moved your large events to Teams. We've been working on Town Hall as a replacement, an upgrade to Teams Live events. And I'm super excited to tell you that Town Hall now has all of the capabilities that live events used to have. Town Hall is ready for all of your events to move to this new experience. Now in public preview, we've made Town Hall more interactive with reactions, polls, and Q&A. And additionally, we've filled some of the key gaps and blockers you've told us about, including 1080p video streaming, ultra low latency, and the ability to customize that Town Hall experience for your users. So here, the message I want to leave you with is that Town Hall is ready for all of your events. The last area I want to mention here, simplification also means making experiences delightful. And I am super proud to say we have branded reactions in Teams meetings coming to preview in December. Here you can see some reactions our team built. We have kind of a celebrity hero inside Microsoft with 𝗬𝗲𝗏. This got some of the best internal feedback we've seen. This is ready for your companies to make reactions branded to your organization. Now, last but certainly not least, I want to switch to talking about what we're doing with AI within your communications and collaboration workflows. As I've kept saying, we hear you in telling us productivity has to increase to keep up with the demands of all of the information, all the new tasks that people have to do. It is fabulous hearing other sessions applauded here. Realistically, we believe that to keep up with those changing needs, we have to go beyond just asking our people to do more. We have to arm our people with tools that act as virtual teammates. In other words, the workplace of the future will not just have us communicating with each other, it'll have us communicating and collaborating with agents and people. So with that, I want to switch back to Kerry to show us a little bit of how we're building AI into Teams.
Sure. So I have a meeting that I need to prepare for, and I don't know about all of you, but sometimes I'm double and triple booked. So I missed our last go-to-market review. So I want to get a recap. So I'm sure you're all very familiar with our intelligent recap, but New, we now have audio recaps. And if you haven't experienced these are phenomenal. You can choose which meetings over the past few days. So you can choose between different number of days. You can select up to 8 meetings, and you can choose your style. Everything from a single person chatting with you and giving you the recap to 2 people talking together, adding some commentary. So it's as easy as hitting generate, but because it takes a minute, I'm going to go to some that we've had generated. So I'm going to play just a few seconds for you to kind of get the flavor of this.
In the 𝗬𝗲 Fiber go-to-market review, the focus was on moving from planning to execution, sharpening the product's messaging, and making sure market rollout is set for multiple segments.
So you can hear just a little bit of the recap that you get. And what I find phenomenal about this, maybe you're walking between meetings, maybe you're driving into the office or riding the train in. It's an easy way to catch up on your meetings that doesn't require you to be in front of your computer. So
this will now become, if you're like me, this will become your second favorite podcast after Acquired. Your podcast of what happened at work yesterday, on your way to work today. It's just an amazing productivity feature.
It is. It's been really great. We've all been using it quite a bit. But let's say I listened to that recap and I still had a couple of questions. Well, I can go back into the meeting, and actually after the meeting has ended, I can still ask Facilitator, Facilitator, can you please generate me a document that talks about the market industries that were discussed during the meeting? This means even after a meeting, you can still query Facilitator and you can have it create a draft of the document. Now, again, it's going to take a minute, so I'm going to show you what it pulled up. It's a pretty great first draft. As you can see, I can quickly go through everything. It's been formatted, and it's giving me that summary that I need to prep for my next meeting.
You'll find, just speaking from personal experience, Facilitator will quickly become your favorite to-do delegate. Hey, who's going to write up the meeting notes and create a document that we can share? Let's ask Facilitator to do it. It really is pretty amazing having that virtual teammate you can call on anytime for meetings.
I agree, and the document creation is fantastic. So again, let's go back to the channel where so much activity has happened, and maybe I haven't been able to catch up on everything. So I'm going to actually, you can open a thread into a new window. Oh, it's down
right
there.
At the bottom.
Yep. So now I can actually read through this, but I don't know, it's a lot. I'd rather just get a quick summary. So again, I can summarize this thread, and pretty quickly it gives me a very clear indication of these are the key takeaways. But let's say I've got one more question. I'm really interested in kind of some of the more innovative designs that we have. And so I'm actually going to ask Copilot, and it's the same Copilot that you experience in chat, in your other apps. And I just want to say, can you tell me, what are those latest trends, those innovative trends on Fabric? So Copilot can now go both to the web and query information from there, but it can also look across my channel. All of it giving me, again, a clear summary of what I need to know. So now I can go into my next meeting fully prepared to talk about what's happened in the past, but also look ahead. Ilya, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you. I have to say, I find the human nature element of this just really amazing. I was chatting with my colleague Kendra earlier. There's a very long chat of a couple of hundred people about this conference. And the most common sort of post is, hey, I don't know if someone's already covered this, but where's the speaker room? Where's the lunchroom? And the simplest answer is ask Copilot or ask Facilitator. But we're so used to relying on each other that it's this interesting shift to say, actually, I have a virtual teammate that instantly knows everything that's been covered. So I compare that to how my kids work, where they do now ask Copilot instead of asking Dad for just about any knowledge, and before they would go do a Bing or Google search. So I think we will see, as these patterns and habits make their way into the workplace, just a real change in behavior. Now, going back to something Kerry showed, recap, By far one of the most widely adopted AI features in Teams. But again, one of the pieces of feedback from all of you was, I'd like it to be my recap. Can I give it a template? Can I customize it? So I'm super happy to say that next month we will take into public preview custom recap notes. So the ability to apply a template, to apply a prompt, to really make the recap what you want it to be. One of the fundamental or sort of foundational critical elements, though, to having recap, transcripts, summaries that are really useful is the ability to know who said what. As we are all now gathering both physically in a meeting room or other space and online, we don't have the luxury anymore of having Kerry be on a specific laptop and therefore knowing anything coming from the laptop has to be Kerry's voice. So, more important than ever, to unlocking AI value is recognizing speakers by their voice, by their face. We now have in general availability the feature that supports any user enrolling their voice and or face in your tenant. It is your data, we only process it. And once that enrollment is done, they not only get personalized voice isolation in every meeting, but they will be recognized without any special hardware in every Teams room situation, in the transcript, in the notes. This is really fundamental. So I will also say we are working actively to make this enrollment significantly faster and simpler, literally one click. I can't wait to tell you about that in a few months. Once you enroll, you will be not only recognized, but attributed everywhere, and that then enables some amazing new capabilities built on AI with Teams rooms. So that facilitator that has been out in Teams meetings for about a month and is already being used in millions of Teams meetings, now will be living in a physical space on a Teams room. The facilitator will be able to take notes if Kerry and I walk in for a quick one-on-one. Facilitator will also be able to have amazing capabilities when you're in a meeting, such as showing the agenda and timer right in the Teams room. And I can say, honestly, this is just the beginning. I've seen amazing work from our engineering team, having facilitator detect when there's clutter in a room and offer to rebook it. Or my favorite, know that there's a chair in front of the camera and ask you to move it. So much more that we can do now that we have eyes, ears, and a brain to have that AI live in every physical space. As I mentioned earlier, we're thinking about AI for users. We continue to also think about AI for all of you as administrators. So we are introducing, currently in TAP, the Teams Admin Agent. This is AI that enables you to multiply yourself as an administrator, to have an agent that takes proactive steps, proactive remediation, or even corrective actions on your behalf when it knows that there are issues your Teams users are experiencing. This is really not just reducing manual overhead, but it's focused on providing reliability at scale. Hopefully what you've seen is that the combination of Teams and Copilot provides not just the most scalable, secure, reliable, and simple platform for communication and collaboration, but it also sets your workplace up to be truly ready for an AI-powered future. And there's so much more here that we just don't have time to cover. We tried to get all the rooms together, tried to get more time, couldn't do it. But there are so many more things coming and coming soon. I would invite you to take some time, attend our other sessions, labs, theater sessions, look at these additional resources, and most of all, keep talking to us. Everything I've covered started as an idea one of you talked to us about. So please, please keep that gift of feedback coming. And with that, thank you for taking the time, and thank you for using Teams and doing everything you do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.